I paid $200 less here in rent. I found that out. I didn't know. I didn't know this place was so expensive per month. And that includes everything. But that's because that's what he said he charged. You know what I mean? Like I said, I didn't respond to his ad and try to finagle it down. I wouldn't do that. I would never respond to someone's ad and say, well, you're asking for 7 or 8, but I can only pay $6 or $6.50. No, I did my own ad, and I only responded to ads that were my price range or less. And the funny thing is, this was on Craigslist. I'll tell you something. You can put in your ad, because I directly did. I put in my ad that I needed to pay $600, including everything, and that includes phone, internet, heat, electricity, garbage, anything you could think of, any expense, $600 top. And and then I said, well, maybe, at the most, including everything else, I could do $650. And I still had people contacting me, telling me that are you interested? But they charge more. I said, no. I said, when I say the most I can possibly pay a month is $650, I mean it. I wrote right in my ad that I was on Social Security disability. Like that is all I can pay. Period. I didn't say how much I make, but I make $1,000 a month. Okay. So on top of the fact that this guy, takes me to the stores and stuff, like I said, that's going to wind way down. It's, you know me, I stock up on stuff. I don't need to go grocery shopping every week, and I can, I order stuff online. And I can just go to the grocery store that he goes to. I found out that it at least has basics. It has my organic stuff. Not everything, but like I said, I can even order from Vitacost glass juices, and they wrap them up good. And if they arrive broken, they'll replace them. They take your word for it. And they simply send you out a new one. I know this because my Pacific organic almond milk arrived a little crushed, and I was pissed, and I contacted them, and they sent me out new ones. I said, you don't want me to send these ones back at your expense? I went, no, we don't even do that anymore. We just take your word for it. And my hemp seed, Nativa hemp seed, had arrived hard as a rock, and I told them, I was honest, I'm like, this is hard as a rock. I'm like, I haven't opened it, but if it stays that way, I know it's not supposed to be that way because I learned about it at my friend's, I'm going to return it. And they said the same thing, that like, if it stays, I could have lied. I don't do that. I could have. I don't want to go down that road either. I told you about CVS. There's ways you can buy stuff and get extra bucks and then return the stuff, and you get to keep the extra bucks and you're actually making money. People do it. Cashier at CVS around here told me these couple girls or whatever do it every single week. They buy everything that has extra bucks and then they return the stuff the next day, and they get to keep the extra bucks. They've made money off of it. I even experienced with CVS and Rite Aid where you buy one, get one 50% off. I didn't do it on purpose. It just happened. I was like, I had to return the stuff. It's always makeup that I return. They have the makeup policy, and they make a fortune off that makeup policy. But some people take advantage, of course, because people take advantage of life in all areas. People do what they can do. And I found out. I found out that you return it. Even at the same time, you return both of them or whatnot, but even if you return one or the other or both, instead of figuring it out what you paid, they give you full price for both. You can make money that way, okay? Like I said, I don't do that. But I recognize that you can because I'm smart. You know, I think I'm a detective. Okay? I'm a detective. I wanted to know what that song was that I'd heard part of when I'd flipping back and forth on my MP3 player. It didn't say the name of the song. I listened to the end of the song. It didn't say it, so I found out. First I went through Yahoo Answers, and they couldn't help me, but the guy gave me a hint, said, why don't you contact the radio station? I did that, and there was no guarantee the radio station would contact me back, but they did, and I found out the song was Country Song by Seether. And the only words I knew from it were the 2 words, save me. It's all I could remember, because I'm on an hour-long walk with Omar, and I don't have a pen and paper or pencil and paper with me, you know. I'm a detective. I think about everything. I know damn well, and then when I experienced it, I knew about the extra bucks. I knew. Back in LA when I was desperate, I think I did it once, only when I learned about it. Did it like once, where I bought stuff intentionally with it had extra bucks, and then I returned it. But it was once, you know. I don't do that. As this woman said at CVS, there's nothing we can do. I said, you're right. And you have to realize that CVS has this in place, and they know that some people will take advantage. You just work here, because she told me. And the reason she told me is because I was returning something or doing something, and I said, well, I can't return it without a receipt. And she says, oh yeah, you'd be surprised, you could do anything. You can return without a receipt and get credit. And then she went on, because she was dying to tell me. She just wanted to tell me, this woman. We have these girls who come in, these young girls come in every week. They buy everything with extra bucks, that has extra bucks, that they can, and then they return it all the next day, and we can't say a word to them. And I'm like, yeah, you're right, you can't. That's how CVS is. They could change it. They could make it so if you return stuff with extra bucks, they'll deduct the amount of their extra bucks. Probably eventually they would if they found they were making money off this makeup policy and they were losing too much money. They know what they're doing. They study it, and they realize that it's very few people. But I'm aware you can do it, okay, legally. Understand? Like, there's nothing you can do, because when I didn't do it on purpose, I made videos about this. When I didn't do it on purpose back in LA, when I take advantage of that makeup policy all the time. There's a lot of makeup I buy that I don't like, okay? And they make shitload because a lot of people don't return the makeup. There's times I haven't returned it because I liked it, and times I haven't returned it because I lost the little thing that you wrap around, you know. I couldn't return it for whatever reason, you know. So I just didn't bother, but... And this girl, this African-American woman, young African woman, younger than me, actually, I returned something. She's like, where's the extra bucks on this? And I said, pardon me? And I said, pardon me? I said, what? She says, you got this with extra bucks and it's gone. I said, first I said, look, I was enraged and I wound up talking to the manager, okay? Of course, they thought I was doing it on purpose. It's none of her business, though, even if I am doing it on purpose. She works there, like this woman, and the guy, he backed the woman up. She was around my age, you know, probably around my age. She wasn't a young girl telling me this. Young girl. But in any case, I said, you can return anything, and you're allowed to spend those extra bucks immediately. You can take them off and buy something else with them right in the same transaction. And she gave me a look, and she got in trouble with her manager, you know. It doesn't matter what they're thinking about you, whether they think that you return makeup just to get the extra bucks or not. It's none of their fucking business. It's CVS's policy. It's CVS's policy, and that's the way it goes. I don't personally do it intentionally because, like I said, I'm not like that. I don't want to be like that. Donna was a natural thief. I pay for all my music now. I bought 2 songs off of Amazon yesterday. I bought Country Song, and I bought Doom and Gloom by Rolling Stones, okay? And altogether, I've bought a lot, purchased a lot of songs, spent hundreds of dollars off of Amazon buying songs. I want to be as unlike Donald as I can. Donald was a natural thief and a natural born liar. Okay? It's just like my dad offered me pot when I was 12, okay? He said to me, if you want to smoke a bone with your old man, just let me know, okay? He smoked pot, he drank. His girlfriend didn't. She was one of those, she thought she could save him, I guess. I don't know. I never understood why she was with him, but she was in any case, and he didn't do anything to her. He didn't cheat on her. I guess she thought she could make him better, and of course she wasn't mean to me, but she did defend him. You know, she talked about how he had been abused by my grandmother when he was a child and whatnot. I was like, yeah, you know what? I've been through enough. I've been through enough to have to move in with this man who I thought was going to love me and make things all better. Instead, he made them worse, much, much worse. But I wanted to be as unlike him. I was a goody two-shoes in high school. He drank, smoked pot. You think I was going to start doing that with my best friend Mary? No. I definitely wasn't going to be having sex. I was terrified of everything. Terrified of men. Terrified of everything, okay? Or boys. You know, I was terrified of everything. I just, you know. I existed in a weird dream-like bubble where I studied my ass off and I got good grades, and that's how I got grants and loans so I could go to college. Otherwise I would have never ever been able to go to college. I did it because I wanted it. But I'm smart and I see things. Okay, I had to start off introduction with all this because I won't say a word to him about anything. I'm not going to. I'm not paying equal rent here. I'm paying a lot less. I'm paying $200 less just in rent, but also he pays for the internet and all the stuff. He set up that phone for me. If I'm here that long, you know, he has $300 security deposit when the phone comes to, you know, whatever. At my mom's house, it was going to be $40 a month. He gets that here too. And he has some kind of deal where, you know, he got Stars and HBO, and he has a 3-way deal, but still, he didn't want that phone. Once the $300 is gone, I'll start offering to you know, to pay a little more to cover the phone. The phone is $40 a month, so I'll pay that. But it didn't cost that much to install it, just to open up the line. So, and he has that $300 extra that I gave him to play with. So, figure 48 and 24, 240, and it costs like, yeah. So I have like 6 months worth of phone to play with, so, you know what I mean? I've only been there 2 months now, so talk to me in a few months and I'll offer him a little extra just to cover the phone, because he didn't want the damn phone, and he shouldn't have to pay for the phone, but he might not take it. He's that type, but I will offer it to him and see what he says. He might not take it too, because when I saw there was no home phone, I had said, I asked you in the beginning if this included everything, including phone, and you had said yes. So he might feel that he had made me that. I thought that he had, if there was phone here, you know. So he might not take the extra money. I remember, I don't betray anybody. I don't even betray, you know, I don't tell you personal things, anything really personal. Oh, I'm sorry, I did, because I hate her fucking guts. But that's about her, you know, over 20 years ago. And it's still, I told you that, but people I care about, like with the exception of my mom, and I tell you personal things about her because I'm intertwined with her, and I can't tell my story without telling hers and without revealing things about her. I mean, how can I, you know? I matter too, despite what Marion and other people think. So this is something that affects me, so I can talk about anything that affects me, because it tells you I can predict the future. He's had the same goddamn clothes that he washed. He's had them sitting. I took them out of the dryer because I've done clothes since then, but he's had them sitting on top of the dryer now. This weekend it'll be 2 weeks. No exaggeration. 2 weeks. I'm not going to say a word to him, but 2 weeks. It's getting warm out. I don't care about the goddamn clothes. They can sit there for a month for all I care. But if he... When I first moved in, I saw that he had shampoo that had flea and tick shampoo and whatnot. But according to him, what he said, he put some kind of flea stuff on his dog. Okay. Maybe he's out of it. Maybe he doesn't have it. I don't know. Or he's the type of, if he let his clothes sit on top of the damn dryer now for 2 weeks almost. It's going to be 2 weeks this weekend. I know that because you know me. I'm aware. Last weekend it was a week, and I'm like, is he going to put the goddamn clothes away? His clothes? No, he didn't do it. I already put flea stuff on Omar, so I know Omar's protected from fleas and ticks, okay? But the house isn't. A lot of people don't think the way that I do. And in the end, a lot of people get screwed. They screw themselves because they don't think the way that I do, okay? I'm proactive. You put off something like making sure your dog doesn't get fleas and ticks, and, you know, you're asking for trouble. I'm not going to say a word to him. It's not my place. I live here, but I have no right to say anything to him, and I won't do it. The only reason I know he even does put flea and tick stuff on his dog is because I was able to casually ask him when I mentioned that we had that warm day, and I'm like, I'm putting this stuff on Omar, and he wasn't worried about his dog being around Omar once I put the flea and stuff on. But I'm like, that's poison. Your dog grabs onto Omar's back. I'm not going to risk your dog getting poisoned. I was proactive. Better to be safe than sorry. Any fucking phrase you can think of, okay? I'm not going to say anything to him. But I'm telling you right now, I'm going to be pissed because you can get rid of fleas and ticks on a dog. Your house becomes infested, and it's like impossible. We're lucky here we don't have the rugs, but so what? We still have the couch and the bed, and we have some rugs. It just... It's April. Of course, every day that goes by, and he doesn't put the flea and tick stuff that he might not even have, that he might have to purchase, that he might, you know, and he doesn't put it on, I'm going to get upset in my head. But I'm not going to say anything, because it's not my place. I am in no... It's not my place to say a word to him. He's my roommate, and I'm living here, but I'm just telling you, I'm going to be pissed. I see one flea, I'm going to be pissed because one flea can lead to more in a fucking house. The whole house can become infested. And I'll know damn well it's not from Omar. See? I don't care how poor I am. I don't care about anything. You know, I'm not gonna... Omar's protected. Omar already has his flea and tick stuff. I took it from my mom. I'm glad I did. she's not, I don't even know if she's alive or dead right now, but I had paid for that goddamn stuff anyway. I had bought it, purchased it from my Aunt Angel. And just like I'd purchased the heart guard, but the heart guard, a year's worth, but I accidentally left that behind. I could have taken that as well. I don't say anything to him. If I was paying absolutely 50-50 equal expenses with somebody, would I feel a little more, I'd feel more justified in saying something, you know, like, you know, you've had those clothes sitting on the dryer now, I'd say it nicely, for 2 weeks. Are you going to put them away ever? But not when I'm paying this much less. Not when he takes me places with his car, you know. No. I'm not gonna say a word. I'm not gonna say a word. Dishes he leaves in the sink, I'll wash them. I've left dishes in the sink that he's washed. But I don't leave them, you know, overnight or whatever. He's washed my dishes when they weren't even there that long. I was like, I was going to do them. He was like, okay, it's okay, I did them, you know. I was doing dishes anyway, but that's what he says to me. But for the most part, you know, I've done his dishes more often. You know, and I don't work, so I have more time to clean and do whatnot, but I can't put I'm not going to touch his clothes that are on top of the dryer, his socks or underwear or towels or whatnot. They'll just sit there for a month if he never puts them away. I don't know. I don't understand it, but I'm crossing my fingers, I'm praying, you know. It's warm enough out now that this dog can get fleas. It's so easy. And I plan on starting to walk his dog too as soon as I get better sneakers. As soon as I have find out whether my sneakers those actually fit me or not, or if I like them. You can never tell in the goddamn house, and then I want you to return them if you wear them outside. Understandably, although I have before, I've just said they're defective, they're digging into me, and it was the truth, you know. But I don't like to do that. I would like to know if they fit me before I wear them outside. And this is an experiment, me not buying the 11 wides and wearing tons of socks with them. I will never say anything to him. I won't. I'll get upset in my head, but I will not say anything to him. It's not my place. You know damn well that you know, fleas and ticks are a problem, and even people who don't believe in putting the poison on the dogs to make sure you don't get fleas and ticks, do other stuff. They check the dog every day and make sure there aren't fleas or ticks on them. They use organic stuff or natural stuff or whatnot, but they don't just do nothing. You do nothing, your dog in your house will be infested by fleas and ticks. It's almost a guarantee. It's almost inevitable, okay? That's just life, you know? I don't know that he actually has the stuff. He might have had it, and ran out of it or something. In which case he has to buy more, and, that takes money, and you actually have to think of doing it, and he has other things on his mind. Well, I'm just telling you guys, I'll be pissed. I will be pissed if I see any fleas in this house. I will be pissed. I'll be pissed. I hope it doesn't happen. And I have every right to be pissed. I just don't have the right to force him to go and buy the stuff or order the stuff or whatever he needs to do, or find it, or, and put it on his dog. He's not thinking about it. Well, people don't think about a lot of things. People don't think about what they're doing to their bodies, not giving it any nutrition, just eating crap all the time. Now remember, even before I went organic, I was still aware that you can't just feed your body crap, okay? You can't just live off of fast food or non-nutritional frozen pizzas, or, you know what I mean? You can't live off of fast food out in the real world or in your house or whatnot and think you're giving your body any nutrition. I still ate nutritiously. I still ate lots of fruits and vegetables and beans, and, you know what I mean? Just, I wasn't doing organic, but I was still aware, and I've been that way for a long time. I know even to keep your weight down, you can't be just feeding your body crap, okay? People have to learn by their own mistakes, and all of us do, and, It's covered. If his dog gets fleas and ticks, it'll be his own damn fault. Not the dog's fault. My roommate's fault. So I hope that he puts it on him. I hope that he doesn't put it off. So many people do. They put stuff off. Oh, it's not going to happen, or it's okay, or, Real sticklers recommend you put it on year-round. I don't. I stop. It's April now. We've already had a couple of warm days. So, we'll see. We'll see. And I do basics for his dog. Well, they share the water, but I'm the one. That's another thing a lot of owners I know are not aware of. I used to not be as aware of it. I made my mother aware of it. That you can't just pour water into the bowl. We gotta wash the bowl. At least we have a glass bowl with the water is. But I've been cleaning it every day. I know damn well that he doesn't do it. I can see all the things floating in the water, But I do it while I'm here, If I ever move out, then he's on his own again with the dog. I feed the dog, I take the dog out, I put the dog in the pen. I periodically clean up the dog's poop in the pen. I do things because my roommate does a lot for me. And because I don't want the dog to be, But that's the best I can do. Damn well will not be searching with a flea comb on the dog or for ticks or whatnot, I won't be doing that on that dog. He's not my dog. I don't even brush him. He's not my dog. people have to deal with their own dogs, and their own pets, and I take care of Omar. That's it. You know, that's the bottom line. I definitely know not to ever leave the house and wash clothes or whatnot, because he already did it with the new towels and rug I bought for the bathroom. I had left them, and they weren't in there for days. I mean, it was, and he put them in the dryer, and I'm like, and luckily I caught him. I'm like, why'd you put those? You put those in the dryer? He's like, yeah. I'm like, they're not supposed to go in the dryer. They say to air dry the rug. Don't put it in the. He's like, oh, well, I just did it, you know. But had I not caught him, had I thought, you know, I can leave, I can go to sleep or go on my computer and the stuff, he's not going to put, no. So I won't risk any of my clothes. But see, I'm being proactive. I know better. With my mom, I taught her not to do it, and then when she was getting sicker, she forgot and put my stuff in the dryer, didn't pay attention, you know. He's a guy, proactive. I know to never, ever, for a second, because I never know when he's going to come home or whatnot, you know, or do clothes. So I need, and he won't think, and he'll put my stuff in the dryer. Obviously, he did it with the bathroom rug. Didn't think to, you know, didn't think to ask me or whatnot. He put it in the dryer. I think, oh, it can go in the dryer. No, the rug says do not put it in the dryer. It says to line dry it, or to put it on low. He'd put it on high. I caught him. It's a cheap enough rug. If it had ruined it or whatnot, I mean, but it's not the point. It could have been something of mine that doesn't go in the dryer. Or you know, he's a guy, and I've never, you know, I've never had a guy roommate that wasn't my boyfriend. So it's kind of weird. But I'm not gonna worry about, you know, I'm just gonna wear what I wear in the summer. I'm not gonna worry about not wearing short shorts or yada yada yada. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna do that. I'm who I am, and you know. But it is weird having a guy roommate. I've never had that. It wasn't my boyfriend. I don't say anything to him. I told you, he leaves those slasher film type giant butcher knives in the sink, covered with pizza cheese or whatnot, and the minute I see it, I wash it and I throw it in the drawer. I don't even let it dry in the drainer. I don't care. I don't want it. He'll leave it all day, all night. You know, I don't want that in the sink. I have a phobia about them. I don't like them anyway, but all I have to tell him is if he ever said anything to me, he'd probably say it jokingly, like, oh, whatever, and I'd be like, yeah, I almost cut, Joe had a smaller knife and left it in the drainer to dry or whatnot, and I almost cut myself on it. I don't like those knives, period. I tell him. So if you leave it in the sink, I wash it, you know, I wash it fast and I get rid of it, and I don't care. And I don't like those knives. I would never have them in my house. They're not necessary. Joe had a much smaller one and it cut perfectly. You don't have to have these giant butcher knives, and he has tons of them, and I don't like them. But like I said, what am I supposed to do? I don't use them. I just use a smaller, sharper knife. I don't like those giant butcher knives. And they're probably all dull anyway. I threw away the ones at my mom's house. They were. She didn't need them all, and I could see they were disgusting and dull. And, you know, I could do that at my mom's house. I could do stuff to help her out or whatnot. Here, it's not my place. Not my place to talk to him about his dog. When the feces were building up in the pen, I did say to him, I said, yeah, I cleaned it. I felt bad for your dog. And he, you know, And I felt bad for him. There was really nowhere for him to go. I was building up, you know. I did say that because I chose to clean it. And then the next time I cleaned it, I said it only took me, he's like, I was going to do it. He's like, it only took me a few minutes. I did it, I think I cleaned it 3 times now. I don't know, yeah. But anyway, I did it because I just looked at him with big eyes. I'm like, no, this was over the phone, but you do so much for me. You know, I said it just like that. In the end of discussion, you do so much for me. I can do that for you, you know. Do it for you and your dog. But I won't be searching for fleas or ticks on the dog if he doesn't think to put the stuff on the dog, you know. There's things you don't play around with, and that's one of them, unfortunately. Because I've read horror stories, and I have a million videos out here on private. Donald and Hope. Not Hope, but Donald. The asshole, even after I told him don't do it, I warned him don't do it, he ordered stupid Advanix off of eBay, and it was it was an older version, I found out later, and it wasn't even for Omar's weight, because Omar had gained weight because Hope had overfed him. It wasn't for his weight, it was the wrong version, and then when the house became infested with fleas, I was secretly laughing my ass off because the fleas were biting Donald, and this gave me an indication of how Donald would be in the future with Omar if Omar ever got sick or something and cost Donald the money. Donald ordered the shit off of eBay. It's not that expensive. It was Advanix, and it is not that expensive. Frontline Plus is more expensive. Advanix is not that expensive. You know, $45 when I had money that I was paying for 6 months supply, whatnot. But no, Donald has to go the cheap route all the time. I hate him. Oh, I hate his cheapness and his selfishness on the bed. And oh God, why did I stay with him? Why? Because you thought you couldn't do any better, Laura. That's why. Because he, like all abusive men do, had convinced you couldn't do any better. That you were. And there's not a man alive will put up with you. Leave me alone forever. Blah, blah, whatever. Natural born liar, natural born thief, cheap, selfish, in and out of bed, fucking abusive, cruel asshole, bastard. Didn't deserve Omar. Omar was love. That man did not deserve Omar, and his mom did not deserve Omar, even though she did show him love and did whatever, and took care of him, you know, fed him what she didn't, because in the end, he was just there, but she wouldn't shell out a penny for his vet care either. And she'd be like, well, he's not my dog, you know. Get on my case about the dog being left alone. He'll cry or whatnot, but then when she goes off to gamble or be with her sister or do whatever, and I'm pointing out to her, well, you get on nicely but jokingly, like, you get on my case about, he's not my dog. Oh yeah, but he's your dog, when you want to feed him chips after chip after chip and then make me feel like a worthless piece of shit because I have the nerve to say something, you know. Donald ordered fucking Advanix off of eBay after I'd warned him not to. I'd read horror stories about eBay having bad Advanix, okay? He only goes the cheap route about everything. And in the end, when Omar and the house got infested by fleas, because that stuff, Omar, he'd gotten a dud. Donald had gotten a dud stuff, right? Didn't work for whatever reason. Oh, Laurie, you don't know it was that. Maybe we just have bad fleas this season, you know, because he never accepts responsibility for anything he does, Donald. Nothing. The house got infested by fleas, and Donald was getting bit. The fleas liked his blood. I wasn't getting bit. I don't know why. Remember, Omar was sleeping with Donald, too. I was poor as hell. There was nothing I could do, and besides, I was always thinking of the future. Well, what's going to happen when I'm gone? You know, I was, you know, but yeah. Omar and the house got infested with fleas. I wasn't punished. The fleas left me alone for some reason. So they did the whole route with the bombs and the this and the that. And of course Donald says, oh, it's just the advantage. He wouldn't accept responsibility that it's because he ordered it off eBay, you know. And guess what happened the next time after we experienced all that shit? Hope and I split the cost of the fucking flea medicine. So if Donald wouldn't order the shit off eBay again, because Donald doesn't even learn from his mistakes, he probably would have done it again. He only goes to cheap, always cheap, 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 cheap. Tell you something, you can be poor and not be cheap, you know. You be frugal, but you don't have to be cheap. Like Arnold was a cheap fucking selfish bastard. But still, it would be really nice to finally be with a guy who had, you know, a decent amount of money. Be with a guy who would treat me with respect, not be mean to me, and, you know, and not be a cheap bastard either. I told you I'm not the type. I'm not into money and jewels and all that crap, but it would be nice just to be with somebody, because I never have, you know, who wasn't poor. I don't need to be wined and dined or whatnot. It's not what I'm looking for. You already know what I'm looking for. I haven't hidden it. I'm just not that type. That doesn't mean it wouldn't be nice to be, you know, it's a guy who, you know, just wanted, you know. But I don't even want to search out a sugar daddy, because a sugar daddy will, you know, might not be the nicest person. Because he knows that, you know, he's the one with all the bucks, and he's gonna this, that, but it would be nice to be with a guy who treated me with respect and, you know, wanted to be with me because of my brain or my looks or my talent or whatnot, and, you know, was able to overlook the fact that I'm on Social Security disability. And it would be nice if the guy had a little bit of money, just so, you know, not so I could take advantage, or so he could wine and dine me or buy me clothes and pearls and jewels and crap and all that. Just, you know what I'm talking about. I don't have to spell it out. It'd be nice, but that's in fantasy land, you know. A lot of things would be nice in fantasy land. Marion no longer having that kind of power over my mom, where I could, you know, my mom being in her own home with Angel again, and me being able to visit my mom with Omar in her own home, you know. Just remember, even if my mom went back there, I'm forbidden to ever visit her in her home again, but she's not going back there. I can guarantee you the house is probably already up for sale. If not, it will be soon. God, does that fucking bitch, my Aunt Marion, need to really be put in her place? She really does. She's too fucking arrogant, too big for her britches. She just really needs to be put in her place. Sure. In Fantasyland, I can think all kinds of things, you know, right on my Fantasyland. I told you, we saw the dog yesterday. The funniest thing. What are the chances of a Bichon living right down the street from here? A white, well, I think they're all white, but you know, a Bichon named Angel. Probably a lot of people name their Bichons, female Bichons, Angel, because white, you know, but what are the chances? Omar and I run into a Bichon, a little bigger than Angel. Angel was a poodle Bichon. My mom thought she was a Bichon, but so this dog was a lot bigger than Angel, but she was definitely a Bichon. And this Angel around here. Saw her again yesterday, but the first time I saw her, I guess, with her daddy, and he talked to me and was wondering where I came from, you know, as in, what are you doing in this neighborhood? I've never seen you around, you know, you can't have lived here long, I would have noticed you. And so he's thinking, because he's like, I'm like, you couldn't have, he said that, I'm like, no, it was less than 2 months, and, you know, it's winter, you're not going to see me in the winter, I hibernate in the winter. But yesterday, the dog was out with a kid who was probably like 12 or 13 or something. Oh, I saw the dog, but I didn't cross the street, you know, to go see the dog, but, oh, you know, oh. I guess I'll go back to bed. Even tomorrow, if I've called her and she says, yeah, I've been really busy, Laura, I haven't heard from insert name of my mom's social worker, and I just haven't had a chance to get back to her, or I emailed her and she didn't, and what can I do? Nothing. Can't do anything. Cheryl will know by the tone of my voice how disappointed I am. I'll be like, alright, you know, I waited all week, and like I said, I can't do anything. I can't push Cheryl, like she's only going to do what she can do. I'm lucky to have her. I can't say anything. And as for my roommate, just like everyone in life, he has to make his own mistakes. I am not going to say one word to him. I don't care how late it gets in the month. I don't care if, you know. I hope he thinks. I hope he doesn't put it off. I hope this house doesn't get overrun by fleas. I hope his dog doesn't get fleas and ticks. Almost protected. It's not my place to say one goddamn thing to my roommate about his dog, and I won't do it. I'm not even going to say anything to my roommate about the goddamn clothes sitting on top of the dryer now for nearly 2 weeks. I'm lucky to be here. I'm lucky this guy, does what he does, and for me, and, I'm lucky, so I'm keeping my mouth shut. And I don't want to say anything to him. And I'm not feeling sorry for myself that I can't say anything to him. I'll feel bad, I'll be pissed, like I said, if I'll feel bad for the dog, and I'll feel bad for, but hopefully it won't happen, hopefully But when it comes to my mother, yeah, I feel very sorry for her, and I feel sorry for me. Cheryl summed it up. She's like, you and your mom would be fine if people would just leave you alone. It's not going to happen. Like I said, my mom's attached at the hip to Marion, whether my mother likes it or not, whether I like it or not. That's reality. That's why in the end, all that I wanted, and I couldn't even have that, was for it to be put into place permanently where Marion could never shut me out of my mother's life again. And in the end, I couldn't even have that, and that is so frustrating. My mom just didn't get better. She didn't get well enough to have the wherewithal to make sure. I know what she wanted. Cheryl knows what she wanted. My mom's psychologist and social worker know what my mom wanted. In the end, it doesn't matter what my mother wanted. It only matters what is. Can't prove what my mother wanted when she's in La La Land, when she's whatever. She's being so drugged up that I don't even know if she's alive or dead right now. I don't know what's happening to her. This is how it was when she first went into that hospital. And Joe's like, well, Larry, you have to understand, you declared your autonomy, and this is the price you have to pay. You don't get to know. Yeah, well, it's unacceptable to me, and I had to declare my autonomy, or I was gonna just lose my own fucking mind. Marion ever again. Free of her forever. Free of that fucking bitch forever. Free of that fucking bitch forever.